Okay, just a bit about the financial optimization problem set. It's still incredibly complex, particularly when you're looking at managing a large, dynamic environment, a global environment, and trying to consistently achieve savings month after month after month. And there's generally three components to that we see. The first is infrastructure volatility. And so, the cloud is dynamic. You're starting resources, you're stopping resources, things are changing, hour to hour. And so that dynamism creates complexity in the ability in needing to manage that financial universe. And that creates challenges both from a tactical perspective to maintain savings, but also from a capacity planning perspective to figure out what commitments need to be made in order to maximize savings. Second is management complexity. And so these savings resources require ongoing effort to renew them, purchase them, modify them. Amazon has launched a new instrument called Savings Plans about a year ago, which we're huge fans of, that simplifies this a lot. But as we get into this presentation, achieving the greatest outcomes is not done with savings plans alone. A blended portfolio is necessary, and RIs have additional management complexity that is required in order to truly unlock the savings. And the title of the webinar is very appropriate because those savings can be achieved in any environment. They are in effect guaranteed if you can successfully unlock them. And what our platform does is completely automate all of the complexity and steps that are necessary to unlock and deliver those savings. And then the third component is commitment risk. We've talked about this a bit, but they are commit discount instruments. In order to unlock the savings, you have to make commitments. And generally, people are commitment averse. And so they will cover and make commitments where they feel comfortable, but at some point they stop. And again, if certain conditions change, you can get upside down. So commitment risk is another complicated factor that needs to be managed. And so the net result of these is in that green box there, that most companies either underutilize or misuse these instruments, and they leave material savings on the table. And so let me show you what that looks like. These are the two bookends of a continuum that we see, but most customers that we serve and prospects that we evaluate fall into one of these two categories. So if you look on the left, the purple line represents, in this case, increase in compute usage. You can see it's not a straight line. It never is. Cloud is dynamic. There's bumps, there's ups and downs, but generally there's an up and to the right pattern in terms of their cloud spend. Maybe they're migrating to the cloud, they're growing their business and their usage accordingly, et cetera. And so what they're doing in this scenario is generally there's a transition from RIs to savings plans that's afoot. Again, we love savings plans, but as we'll demonstrate, that the greatest savings are achieved by actually blending these instruments together. But what they're doing is they're stacking them on top of each other over time. And they're doing it in a way that's generally conservative. They want to make sure that the spend manifests and there's a lag. And so you can see there, everything between the top of the green bars and the purple, they're paying on-demand rates for. They're not receiving discounts from AWS. And so those are missed savings opportunities. So we see this very often. On the right-hand side, you see a more aggressive commitment scenario where you can see that purple line grows relatively rapidly there. And the customer in this case is stacking commitments on top of each other. But then there's a downturn. Business conditions change, a pandemic hits, optimization activities occur on that left-hand side, the engineering universe, that causes costs to decline. There's a whole host of reasons why this might occur. But if that happens, you end up getting overcommitted to AWS, where you're now paying for commitments that you're not utilizing. And both of these scenarios will affect your savings outcome. On the left, you're leaving money on the table because you are paying on demand and not generating discounts. On the right-hand side, you're paying for discounts that you're not receiving benefit from. And so that will be a headwind to your savings. Both of them generate the same outcome, which is that your savings is suboptimal.